Everybody, welcome back to the Spurs 9501 podcast with Ray in London, Cam in Georgia. I nearly said Florida again. Old habits are hard. How you
Yep.
doing, Cam? I want to talk about a few things today. So, how you been?
Good. Bit depressed after that game.
Yeah.
Boring football. Boring Tottenham.
Was it any surprise that we went 1-0 down against Villa? Tell us your thoughts about the match, and then I'll have a few
I
comments.
thought probably I thought paint drying would be better than that match. The first half was the most lackluster, most just absolutely disinterested team that absolutely showed nothing. What was it? 0 shots on target. Even when Son was offside, he still couldn't score it the post. I mean, it was so bad. I don't think I can remember. I mean, we keep saying this week in, week out, right? But I can't remember a time when I was so bored and put off from even wanting to watch the game. I mean, I had to force myself to turn my head towards the TV to watch the game. It was so bad.
That's actually quite an interesting observation. So I just wanted to tell you, I was watching the match and I thought, I can't watch this anymore. So I actually turned it over, and I'm going to be hated for this, but I actually started watching the Chelsea-Nottingham Forest match because more action, more injury. You had two teams actually trying to want to win. Here you had just Tottenham sitting around doing nothing and making Aston Villa look like world beaters. I mean, we said before that we were going to lose at Villa, but we don't mind losing with a fight or with some passion and some tenacity and some will to win. There's nothing in this team at all. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I think it's starting to affect people like Son and Kane. Kane didn't play well. He missed that one-on-one with Martinez, etc. You know, can this get any worse, this team? And they look like every week we speak about it, they seem to be getting worse.
Well, like you said, I mean, I wish the Eurovision Song Contest had started. That would have been a lot better than this game. I mean, that's how bad it was. You've summed it up. I don't know what anyone else can say. I mean, there was just, you try and pick out something, somebody, anything in that game, and all you can pick out is a bunch of losers. And you can pick nobody out. There's nobody or anything in there that you would have said in that first half. The only person I saw who played half decent in the first half, and this is a real push, was probably Emerson Royale with a few last stitches tackles. Yeah. At least he showed he could defend a bit. Otherwise, that 1-0 would have been another 4-0, I would have said, easily.
And the worst thing is we can't blame Eric Dyer, can we? Because he's although we could maybe blame him because he's transmitting bad defending from the bench. But again, a rash tackle from Romero on the edge of the box gives away a free kick. Douglas Luiz scores. This is just, I really don't know what to say. There's nothing more we can say about it. It's just, the season can't end soon enough, can it?
Yeah. No, it's ill-disciplined. This team's got no discipline. They've got no understanding. They're out of form. They don't care. When you don't care, and when you've got a great new job and you're just about to leave your job, your employer knows in your last couple of weeks they're not going to get much out of you, are they? This is what it feels like. Every single one of them has got another job and they just can't wait to leave. That's what it felt like to me. I don't know if you saw Kulusevski take a shot in the second half. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Sky. I mean, what the? I mean, Ray, you could have taken a better shot.
Yeah, I could have better shot. And another option he had, he could have tried to get it to Harry Kane, but he tried to score. There's no way he's going to score from there.
He didn't care. He's already read they don't want him. He don't want to be there. Why would you play him? Why would you even put him on the bench? Why would you even do anything?
You know what? As I said, half time, I actually turned over to a different match. So I don't actually know the second half what happened. I'm just flitting in and out of it, really. So again, for the first goal, who was on the right side got done, ball across. Pedro Porro's having a fag. This guy walks in front of him and scores. It just doesn't change, does it, Cam?
No, it doesn't change at all. It's absolutely unbelievable. I mean, what can I say? I mean, what I'm going to say is, can we talk a bit about the offside thing?
Yeah, let's talk about offside. I mean, you said that Richarlison was born offside. It seems like Son and Kane were born offside as well. Or Son definitely was born offside.
Rather than him learning from them how to play onside, learning from Son how to stay onside and make a run, Son's learning from Richarlison how to stray offside. I mean, it's almost who could get offside first, who could run forward the fastest, who could. It's like a little sprint, isn't it? I mean, just the most basic thing about football. What are these guys on? How many millions a year, right?
I mean, Son's on 200K, yeah. And that's what I was saying to you. Is it so difficult to time a week? Sorry, is it so difficult to time your run so you can stay offside? Come on, I know
for 2K a week, I time my run.
Yeah. So listen, everybody knows that Unai Emery plays a really high line, so they're playing a really high line. So obviously, the way behind it is to time your run, pass through them, and then you're in. It's a really risky maneuver, but we couldn't even do it once. And even then, when he did get through, he couldn't score.
a good striker every season gets offside a few times, maybe
Yeah, that's fair enough.
2
Yeah.
3 times, right? Richarlison was offside about 3 times in 20 minutes. I mean, this guy cannot stay onside. I think it must be because he hopes he's offside, so that when he fluffs his lines, which he did again, and makes a mess of every chance that he gets, one-on-one, whatever it is, he knows he's offside, so he gets away with it. If you take all his offside chances that he's missed as well, you'll see how poorly this guy's played. I mean, Richarlison, Kulusevski, they're a complete. They make Lauren Hardy look like great footballers.
Yeah, yeah. There's
Cool.
rumors that Richarlison may be going as well at the end of
Good,
the
good. They
season.
should all go. I mean, I felt like there was not one player on that field that I wanted to stay. Maybe, obviously, when we know that there's a few that we'd like to keep. But after today's performance, who really looked like they were a Spurs player?
Well, Skip again looked out of his depth, didn't he? Højbjerg looks disinterested. There's a clip on social media about his defending. It's appalling, really. I mean, Pedro Porro, a few bits and bobs here. I mean, who else is actually showing anything? They've actually gone to the beach already. I've got a feeling that Leeds are going to beat him and then Brentford are going to beat him as well.
I don't think there's anybody in this team that cares a jot about the fans, about their own personal credibility. What about them as people, as footballers, as professionals earning millions here? What are they? What the hell is going on? I don't care about the manager. I don't care about the owner. I care about you, who is out there to perform. If they were my employees, I'd have to fire every single one of them just on the basis that they've got a job description and they're not performing any part of that job description. What is going on? I mean, how are you allowed to get away with it? Would you be allowed to get away with this at work? Would anybody be allowed to get away with this at work?
No, but
how much do they get away with it on millions too?
How much of this is due to the fact? I mean, how much of this is down to Ryan Mason? We'll talk about the managerial situation, but Ryan Mason is a new shining star, the prodigal son. He's Tottenham
shining star. He's been doing this for 3 seasons and done absolutely nothing every single season. He comes in, he's a fullback, but fullback position. What is Ryan Mason? I mean, do you think that your team managed by Ryan Mason is going to win anything, going to do anything, going to achieve anything? That is the question first. Everybody knows the answer, and the answer.
He wants the job permanently. Would you give it to him?
What? I mean, yes, you know why? Because it proves to us exactly what this team is about and what our ambition is.
He's a cheap
our
option.
Ambition is Ryan Mason. If we don't get Ryan Mason, probably our ambition is someone like, what's his name from Leicester? I mean, Brendan Rodgers. Brendan Rodgers. Oh, I tell you what, right? Why forget about Brendan Rodgers? Why don't we just go for David Moyes? Try and poach him from West Ham. I mean, this is what this team is about.
Sam Allardyce is going to be free, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Harry Redknapp wants to come back. Harry Redknapp would be better than any of them.
I would love Harry Redknapp back. I would love Harry back. So let's now forget about the match because we lost anyway. I don't really care about that. Let's talk about the managerial situation. Couple of things here. Firstly, Julian Nagelsmann has pulled out of the process or was never contacted about. They didn't want him. Yeah, he pulled out. Apparently, he wanted some really despicable things like control over signings, control over working with the sport. Who wanted to know who the sporting director is going to be? He wanted to control the signings and the transfers. I mean, what manager asked for that? I mean, it's totally not right to ask for that type of thing, is it?
Absolutely, especially at Tottenham. All you're supposed to do is stand there, lose matches, and get paid loads of money for it. Throw your arms up in the air, not learn how to play football. As long as he came in and said, you know what, I'll be as big a failure as the other managers, he'd probably get the job.
But it doesn't matter. If he would come, he would never do anything. So Julian Nagelsmann is not there. Who else is not there? So we've lost. Apparently, we've still got in the hat of the ring Ryan Mason, Luis Enrique, Arne Slot, Xabi Alonso, Brendan Rodgers, God knows who else. I mean, does it really matter who gets this job? Let me ask you a question. Why do we actually care who's the manager?
Because like idiots, we think that we might get top 4, we might win something one year, that this is going to be our year, next year is going to be our year, this is going to be our year, this is going to happen, this year it's going to happen. I think that one thing we were all very clear about 2 years ago when Conte came in, it was either this or it was nothing. If he couldn't do anything, nobody can do anything. And I think I'm going to stick to that and say now that we've tried everything, there isn't a manager out there that can do anything with this team. We're looking at about a 10-year rebuild in my view. Get rid of everybody, get rid of every single player and rebuild from the back. We get rid of the chairman, start from the top. I mean, the only good thing coming out of Manchester United that the Qataris might be available. They might be the only ones who can buy out Levy and get rid of him, and rebuild this thing from the top, because we're going nowhere. We are going nowhere very, very, very fast. This
Well, the
team.
rumor is if the Qataris don't get Man United, they might go for Tottenham. So we have to hope and pray that Jim Ratcliffe gets United and
Yeah,
the
and then
Qataris can
drive them
focus
into
on.
the ground
Yeah, yeah,
with the Glaziers together. That'd
yeah.
be great. And we get the Qatari money because these guys, they've got to go. It's too much. And in a way, you were absolutely right. We both said it last time. We didn't necessarily want the win against Villa because this team needs to be humiliated. I mean, they've been humiliated enough. They were humiliated at Newcastle. They were humiliated at Liverpool. Humiliated everywhere we go, and the humiliation mustn't stop until we get rid of these owners, we get rid of this team, we get rid of whoever the hell has had anything to do with managing this club for the last 2 years. They all need to be completely cleaned out so we can actually rebuild. And a rebuild is going to take 5 to 10 years, my view.
Yeah, I mean, we owe a big debt of gratitude to Antonio Conte because if it hadn't been for the points he accumulated while he was in charge, we would seriously be in a relegation fight now. I'm telling you, we would seriously be in a relegation fight.
Yeah,
because we've got no chance. I don't have any hope for us going to Leeds on the last day of the season. We're going to lose that. Brentford will probably turn us over. This is it now, and I hope we don't get. I hope we get Conference League. I hope we. I don't know. And I hope we get Conference League. So Levy loses a lot of money on Europe. I hope
we get nothing. That penny pincher will grab the Conference League money and see it as a victory. I hope we get 8th position.
So you don't want us to get any European football
at all? We will. I think that Brighton have got a lot of games in hand, and they will get the points. We, as you said, I think we'll be lucky to pick up 1 point. If we're lucky, we'll pick up 1 point.
What has happened? I mean, who is a bigger laughing stock in London? Is it Tottenham or Chelsea? Because they're both shambles, a shower of a club.
Well, I think Tottenham, because Chelsea have now got Pochettino. So Chelsea are going to, the one manager that we all wanted and had hoping that might come in and do something with this club is now going to our rivals Chelsea. So if you think we bad, this is even worse. This makes us even look more stupid, more pathetic, and more ridiculous as a club. At least they've got the money, they've got the manager. So whatever happens this year, they've got something to look forward to. What the hell have we got to look forward to? Some bloody manager from a lower team in Holland, if we're lucky, or Brendan Rodgers. Every failure that exists out there is about to come to Tottenham. That's all we've got to look. They've got Pochettino and they've got £600 million.
Pochettino's actually. I mean, where do you stand on this? Because a lot of Spurs fans saying Pochettino's dead as far as I'm concerned, going to Chelsea. A lot of fans saying we wish him well, blah blah. Where do you sit on this subject?
Well, I feel very clearly that I wish he had come back to the club where he wanted to. But that idiot Levy didn't even encourage him. We don't want Nagelsmann. We don't want Pochettino. Seems like we don't want anyone who wants to win or be successful. So what I know. How can you blame the guy? He wanted to come. How can you blame him? You can't blame him.
I don't blame him at all. I think the problem
was a big failure at Chelsea. That's because I hate Chelsea, not because I hate Pochettino.
Yeah.
I just don't want anyone to be successful. But the fact is, if you're a Chelsea fan right now, you're sitting back and thinking, right, we got the players, we got the investment, we got the money. We need a manager that's going to make it happen. Who's going to make it happen? Pochettino's going to make it happen. What have we got to look forward to, Ray? Absolutely nothing. We've got no manager, no team. We've got no money. We've got an idiot running the club. What have we got to look forward to next season right now?
We've got absolutely zero to look forward to next season. Now, 3 seismic events could happen. So Pochettino's 3 seismic events could happen that would call this house of Levy to come crumbling down. Onely that Pochettino's going to go to Chelsea. Can be confirmed. The fan base are not going to forgive him for that. Number 2, Harry Kane is going to leave. And number 3, we're going to be in a relegation fight next season. If Kane leaves and we're in a relegation battle, because we will be, because nobody else is going to do anything, that could be finally the straw that breaks the Levy camel back.
Well, firstly, that he should have been broken years ago. I mean, the man's got no shame. Pochettino thing, what you want, give a damn. I mean, let's face it, Kane going, he'll pocket the 80 million, 90 million. He won't care. I think the only thing that will maybe shake them up is relegation. And I don't think that even there, he'll care. Why does he care? He's a paid employee at the end of the day. He's getting a nice fat salary. What's he on, a few million a year?
Yeah, he gave himself a pay rise as well for doing absolutely. So he actually achieved nothing, but gave himself a pay rise.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, I wouldn't mind that job myself.
No,
I don't tell you what, every time I went to work and ran my business, lost a load of money and then could give myself a load of money. I don't know where from. Obviously, it's not his money. Wouldn't that be great?
Let me ask you, we're gonna wrap it up soon now because I know you've got to go. But if you had to compare Tottenham Hotspur to a cartoon character, which cartoon character or which film would you compare Tottenham Hotspur to?
Wow, that's a really good question. I'm trying to think of a cartoon character that I would compare us to. I mean, it's almost impossible to say, isn't it? I think the 3 little ducks that followed Donald Duck around, right? Huey, Louie, whatever they are, Dewey. I think that's probably who we are as a team. That's our
What
front
about Fred
three.
Flintstone?
That's
Fred
our front
Flintstone.
three. The
Yeah.
ones at the back are the Keystone Cops, of course.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think we redefined the movie The Three Stooges to make it the 11 Stooges.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one actually. I like that, the Three Stooges. I might do that. Ask a question
I think
on
that's who
Twitter.
we
Well,
are.
if you had
The
to
11
compare Tottenham to a movie, who would it be? Okay, Cam, great stuff from you, mate. Final thoughts now before we close it off and wait till the next defeat with Brentford next week.
Sorry, this has been the most depressing season, the end of a season we've ever had. This is a team that doesn't care, doesn't give a damn. That performance today was the most lackluster, most horrific performance. I think you'd get a better performance here in the Ryman League than you did what you saw for the first half of Tottenham Hotspur, and you'd get better players in the Ryman League than you see from this team. I wish none of them well. I wish them all bad, and I wish that they never played for our club.
And finally, on Harry Kane, do you think he's going to leave at the end of the season, or do you think he's going to see it out and leave on a
positive?
Harry
Kane, you were Harry Kane. What would you do?
I'd leave straight away. But then it's up to Daniel Levy if he doesn't ask for stupid money.
Mentally, he's gone. Mentally, everybody's checked out. They've all checked out.
Yeah. Okay, Cam. Thanks very much for your time again. Really appreciate all your thoughts. We'll see you next week, hopefully after the Brentford game. I'm gonna give you the honor of closing the podcast with some final sage thoughts from the mouth of Cam.
I think that we've gone from being a top 4 team to a top 10 team, and I think that we will do pretty well if we do manage to make 8th. So my prediction is Tottenham Hotspur. Come on, you Spurs! 8th position it is.
Come on, you Spurs. Thanks, Cam. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.